Another edition of At Home with the Who's presented by The Supply Room as we take you inside the home of one of the all-time great UVA coaches and current head coach of the MLS New England Revolution. This would be one Bruce Arena. Coach, thanks for taking some time to be with us. And I said we were in your home, but I guess technically this is a little bit of a new dig for you here. Where are you talking to us from right now?
Well, I'm in our new training facility in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The New England Revolution just moved in to a new $35 million facility. It's a great venue for us, and we report here every day. We'll still be playing our games in Gillette Stadium, but it's great to have our own environment.
What has it been like for you over the course of this experience trying to coach? You mentioned you're the head coach. You're also what amounts to essentially the GM for a team with a ton of international players on top of that. What has this whole experience been like, and how has it evolved to where we are today?
Well, it's certainly been challenging. I don't think anyone's ever gone through something like this. We started the season, and there were some rumors about, the virus hitting the United States, and we were in training on a Thursday, and that afternoon we were told the league was shutting down, and that was obviously the first or second week in March, and it was one of these things where we thought next week we'll be back, the following week we'll be back, and the reality set in that it wasn't going to happen soon. So we've been away for I guess basically 3 months. It was nice for me. I had the opportunity to go back to Charlottesville and spend a month there, but over the last month we've been getting kind of excited that we thought we were getting close to coming back, and our state was hit real hard with the pandemic, and we really had no idea when we were going to be given the green light to get back to training. So at this point now, we've gone through the phase of individual training. We're now back into group training. We're going at it full speed, and we really have a great group of guys. So we're real excited to getting back on the field and hopefully back into competition in early July.
It's been reported, so you're targeting July 9 to return to play with all 26 teams. You're going to be competing in Orlando, and basically what amounts to, it looks like a World Cup style type group stage tournament with a 2-week training and quarantine period before competition starts. What has your reaction been like to that plan for return to play, and what do you see as the biggest challenges you're going to face?
Well, that plan has been discussed for months with the union, and it was a pretty rigid plan. And the final plan now is a lot easier for the players and their families to deal with. We're actually going to head to Orlando on July 1st. We're not going to be quarantined when we arrive, but we're going to be in an environment that they call a bubble. So in our hotel, which is a hotel convention center, we're allowed to have movements there, but no one will be in that environment. So it'll just be the 26 teams, which comprises about 850 players in the staff. So we'll have about 1,500 people in that facility, and we'll go out and train every day and come back and be in that environment and prepare ourselves, to get ready to play on July 9th. It'll be challenging, but I think given the fact that, we lost the sport for so many months, I think we're all grateful for having the opportunity to get back. The competition will be unusual. It'll be like, as you indicated, a World Cup kind of setup. We're going to be in groups. Every MLS team's guaranteed 3 games. We have 26 teams in our league. If you advance out of our group, which would mean you'd be in the top 2 teams, you go into a round of 16 teams, and then it's single elimination from there. Ultimately, by early August, there's going to be a winner in that competition. And then hopefully when we get back to our home venues, we'll be able to get back into regular season competition. So hopefully everything falls into place properly. However, we realize that the pandemic could erupt again as we get closer to the fall, and it may shut down the league again. So we have to keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll have a smooth transition in July, and then hopefully the season continues, and we'll ultimately crown a winner of our league in early December with the MLS Cup. Professional athletics, we always talk about there's 3 or 4 components to coaching. One is technique. At this level, at the professional level, that's pretty much there. You're not going to improve that a whole lot. The other is tactical. That's the job of the coaches there. the fitness part, and then the last one's psychological. And I would say out of those four components of coaching, the psychological aspect is probably greater than the other three. And you're constantly dealing with that in a regular season where everything's going well. And now you throw the pandemic and all these other issues into it, and obviously the situation with racism in the country. It's a complicated process. So our ability to communicate properly with the players is critically important if we hope to get the maximum effort we need out of the players on the field.
Yeah, as if there wasn't enough going on, you mentioned the whole race component to this thing. Following the death of George Floyd and the call to action by so many people to make sweeping change regarding systematic racism in our country, there have been a lot of voices from the MLS community, I know, that have been in support of that change. What have those conversations been like for you and your team?
Well, I think I've been here for 1 year, and I've coached in a lot of places. I think I'm 40 years into coaching now. I think I started at UVA at 25, 26 years old, and now I'm approaching my 69th birthday in September. So I've been around the block a few times. I've never had a team that I've enjoyed to coach more than this one, and we are unbelievably diverse. And the aspect of racism to us is disturbing, because we have such great relationships with the players, such great respect for them. And then our ownership, the Crafts have been absolutely fantastic. They're not real verbal in terms of expressing their opinions. They just act. And they've been great in philanthropy and a lot of social causes, and they just continue to move forward, and they set a great example for their teams. The Patriots are really have been advocates to make change now, and certainly our team will do as well. And just having the Crafts being people that are very aggressive and making sure we do all the right things, it's a great environment to be around.
Two guys that I know that Virginia fans will have some familiarity with your group. Give us an update on a couple former Who's on that Revolution's roster. You got one of the goalkeepers, Jeff Caldwell, and first-year player Henry Kessler.
Well, before I get into those two players, just to let you know, my staff, Richie Williams, who won some national championships with me. He's one of my assistant coaches. Kurt Analfo is our technical director. That was one of in our championship teams. Clint PA is our head coach of our second team, and Clint won 4 national championships at UVA. So, and we also have Chris Tierney here, who's the director of scouting for us. So I've surrounded myself with a lot of UVA guys. Now go back to the players. In this year's draft, I selected Henry, and Henry Kessler was the 6th pick in the first round. And I followed him as much as I could over the last couple of years at UVA, and I thought he had great potential, and he's been a starter for us in our first 2 games of the season. Jeff Caldwell, I've seen him in the past at UVA, and I know he had some experience in the USL. And George continues to produce very good teams at UVA and develops people, which I think is so important, and maybe one of the most important charges for a coach at the collegiate level. So it's great to see. Henry's and Jeff have been absolutely fantastic, and I think they have a bright future here with the New England Revolution.
There it is. That's round 1 of 2 with Coach Bruce Arena. It is presented by the Supply Room, proud sponsor of UVA Athletics. Whatever your office needs, they can get it to you with next-day shipping and unbeatable prices. Choosing your one-stop business supplier is as easy as visiting thesupplyroom.com. All right, so be sure to join us again Thursday night for round 2 of our conversation with Bruce Arena, when we'll dive into some of those 5 national championship teams and that Coach Arena had here at UVA back in the day, leading to 5 MLS titles as a coach in the pros, and, of course, life on the international stage. That's all next time. So we will see you next time.